In which month is Mother's Day celebrated in Canada, Australia, and the United States? 5,
April.
4.
A. Mother's Feast. B. Mothering Sunday. C. Feast Day.
B. Mothering Sunday.
Correct.
Yay! France, really? France is that nice. Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to FOLABOMI's YouTube channel. Just want to be seen, don't want to talk too much.
Hi guys, good day. My name is Toluleye, and today we have with us a very special guest for the Mother's Day edition. I'm so thrilled that I'm sitting next to her today and I even have the opportunity to speak with her and learn from her. And without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Mrs. Kemi Onabanjo-Joseph. So, would like to know about you. I know a lot about you, but the audience would like to know what you do, how you impact community.
Okay. Thank you, and thank you for hunting me down. It's good to be here. It's very interesting that this is the Mother's Day edition, and I feel very privileged to be a guest on the show. Thank you. So what do? My name is Kemi Onabanjo-Joseph. I am a mother. Since this is the Mother's Day edition, so I can start with that. I'm a mother to a 9-month-old. I'm a wife to my husband, PJ. I am a management consultant by day. I work with Mckinsey Company here in Nigeria. I am the president of the Covenant University Alumni Association 247 by day and by night. I'm also a speaker, a writer. I have a blog. I write a newsletter weekly. I'm many things to many different people, but I think at the core of it, I always say that I'm a Jesus baby. I'm a person of faith who's on a journey to die empty and be all that God has called me to be. So yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Would you like to tell us what a typical day of yours is like?
They're not typical days, but I think on average, I'm not much of an early riser, so I'm not 4 a.m. gang, unfortunately. The only thing that makes me wake up at 4 a.m. is my baby. But otherwise, let's assume all things being equal. My baby sleeping through the night, for example. I'll probably wake up latest by like 7. I start off my day again as a Jesus baby, but I do my mommy things first. So, play with my baby. I work from home 2 days a week, and then I go to the office the other 3 days. So I'll use a day that I go to the office, for example. I would get in maybe between 9 and 10, drive to the office, get in and work. I think when I'm at work, I try as much as possible to be focused at work. I don't do a 9 to 5. My job is not 9 to 5, which means that I don't have an exact closing time. So I go to the office, as I said, 3 days a week. And when I'm in the office, I try as much as possible to be focused in the office. I'll call home from time to time, video call, just see the baby, of course. But usually I'm in the zone at work whenever I'm there. But I come back home in time for my baby's bedtime, so that I can also be part of that routine as much as possible. And so I spend some time kind of decompressing after that. So after his bedtime, maybe spend an hour just catching up with my husband, with PJ, or with the nannies, understand what happened during the day when any of the grandmas are around. Actually spend time, and then after that I go back to work. So there's a night shift that happens.
Wow.
I'm a night owl, which is why I don't wake up early.
Yeah.
And so between like 9 and 9:30, I kind of get back into my night shift, and that's when I finish up my work. Because most of the time during the day, so many meetings, and then you actually get to think and work, at night. But that's also when I do a lot of my Covenant University Alumni Association work. If I have documents to review, emails to respond to, that's usually when I get it done. Sometimes conversations will happen during the day, of course, but I try to compartmentalize as much as possible just to make sure that I'm giving my best to the different aspects of my life from time to time. I do a lot of speaking engagements as well. As much as possible, I try to schedule them for the weekends. Again, so that I'm not, infringing on the different time slots. Sometimes it's hard, but I make it work.
Thank you. Speaking of SJ. Our
SJ.
online baby. With the online aunties. Speaking of
We're coming to
SJ,
drop him in our house soon.
how has it been being a mom to SJ? Was it what you expected?
I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. And no matter how many like YouTube videos you watch, I always say that I spent so much time on University of YouTube leading up leading up to having the baby. I mean, at least for me, I did a lot of research. I'm a very intentional person, so I don't go into situations blind. I will always try to search out from other people's experiences and other people's stories to learn what works and what doesn't work. And I did glean a lot of wisdom from those stories, but it still was shocking for me, like when reality hits. But it's been a really rewarding experience. One of the hardest things that I've done. I always say that I've done hard things. I do hard things. Like I think I get a high off doing hard things. But motherhood, as a
Different ballgame
oh my
entirely.
gosh, is the hardest thing I've done. Breastfeeding is one of the hardest things that I've had to do in my whole life. Very rewarding to think every time, SJ sees me and he starts smiling. All the hardness melts away. And I feel very grateful. I always say that like motherhood is a privilege. It's a gift. We are partnering with God to fulfill the mandate, be fruitful, multiply. That's his mandate. So, being a mother is one of the ways to really partner with God to make his will be done. And so even when it gets hard, the reminder that it's a privilege, keeps things balanced. I'm sure you know that I had a baby 2 years ago, and she didn't make it. The fact that we have, a healthy baby with us, that we came back home with a baby and is in our house, is really a thing of joy, right? And his name is Toluweye, which means, we thank God, God did it, thank God, right? So every time we call his name, it's really a reminder, of God's faithfulness. And I think that's been what the journey has been for me, Sammy, is really just a constant reminder of God's faithfulness. Yeah. It's been fun, hard work, but fun.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Is there anything you wish you knew before you became a mom?
I tell you, no matter how many YouTube videos you watch, it will never come close. I wish I knew that the 4th trimester was a real thing. Like people talk about the 4th trimester, which is essentially the first 3 months after you give birth. It's harder than any trimester you might have had during pregnancy. And people used to say it, but it didn't really register. So I think I wish it registered more that the 4th trimester is real. Because when you know that a journey is going to be a bit challenging, then you can equip yourself with the tools that you need. And in this case, the tools is support, right? Ensuring that you have the right people to be there for you. I mean, when we had SJ, unfortunately, none of the grandmothers could be around, right? So, PG and I had to be creative and say, where are we going to find the support? Because it's going to be tough. And I also had SJ via cesarean, right? And cesarean is a major operation. So you can't be jumping up and down after. There's a healing period. And so during that healing period, how do you get the right support? Like you hear the baby crying, you can't just jump and go. You jump and go, you're going to hurt yourself, right? And you need a healthy, strong mom to have a healthy, happy baby, right? So I think just understanding that the 4th trimester can be very challenging and making sure that you're equipped with all you need, support, the knowledge, because it could just be a small hack that changes everything for you, right? A good example is SJ was really struggling with sleep, and he was waking up every 35 minutes in the middle of the night. And if you're trying to be a breastfeeding mom, you need sleep to be able to produce enough milk. And if the baby keeps waking up, it's just a vicious cycle. And a little research, we found out that we could buy this insert, which was, less than $50. And that was a game changer. Like just something a little soft that he could sleep on, and that was a game changer. If we didn't do that research and we didn't find that knowledge, we would have continued to struggle, right? So I think preparing for the fourth trimester just as much as you prepare for during the pregnancy is something that I wish I knew. I think I also wish I knew that breastfeeding wasn't automatic. The images that we have on the media just shows like you just give birth,
Straight up.
breastfeeding is not automatic. And so, yeah, I really struggled. So production was a bit hard. And I think also when you have a cesarean, it's a bit different because your body doesn't go through the full labor. And so some of the hormones that need to trigger milk production are not fully activated, right? So you need to kind of manually jumpstart it. And I read all of that and I knew all of that, but the reality was just very different, right? And so in some instances I had to get a lactation consultant to come and help. And babies don't just get on the boob and suck. There's a technique to it. And no matter what you do, sometimes a baby just won't latch, which is what eventually happened with me. And I got into this world of exclusively pumping because I was really frustrated that I couldn't breastfeed my baby. I really wanted to give him milk, but my body and his mouth were just not collaborating. But there are always alternatives, and I think that's one of the most powerful things that I want to share with anyone today. Whatever your objective is, there are multiple ways to get there. I could have been frustrated and said, well, I'm not able to breastfeed this child, and keep forcing it. And SJ was losing weight, and because I wasn't getting the nutrients I wanted. There was an alternative: pumping the milk and feeding it to him in a bottle. And I was actually able to exclusively breastfeed him for almost 7 months with that technique. So don't let anyone tell you that there's something wrong with you because you can't breastfeed your child. What is the objective? The objective is that the baby gets breast milk. Okay, how are we going to get this breast milk into this baby's mouth? He could be breastfed. He could be bottle fed with breast milk. It's still breastfeeding. Some babies even use like syringes or some tubes because for some reason they're not taking the bottles. There are many ways to get the same thing done. And so I think understanding that upfront would have liberated me from all the guilt that I felt. But we eventually got there, but it was a bit tough.
Can you tell us about some women that have inspired you in life, your journey through life?
I am a product of so many women. I have so many mummies, and I think it's a testament to the fact that I have been inspired and lifted by a lot of women. I think my first, made my mom, Mama K, Mama Kemi for short. Huge influence. My work ethic is from my mom. My generosity is something that my mom role modeled to me. Discretion is something that my mom role modeled to me and continues to teach me. My mom is really one of the biggest influences. I think a few other people that have influenced me. Mrs. Aoshika, huge influence. I think from her, I saw that you don't have to be one thing. You can be many things, and you can excel at being many things, and it's okay, right? I think growing up, I saw most people just doing one thing and being excellent at it. And I realized that I had so many interests, and it was a bit confusing. But with her, I could see that I could do many things, and I could see what was possible. So you can be an entrepreneur, but also be on boards, and you can sing a movie, and you can be a minister of God, and you can be a teacher, and you can be all of these things, right? So I think she's also a really big influence in my life. Mrs. Adeshala, my very first mentor, my very first business mentor, she taught me, or she showed me how to balance parenting and doing work, and understanding what a support system could look like. So way before I even got married, way before I even thought about marriage, I already started seeing how to make it work. Mrs. Adeshala, I used to meet with her like at 7 a.m. and while we're meeting, like she's doing her pedicure. Right, so she really showed me how to great life, exactly. Tolu Michaels, somebody I find very inspiring. She moved to a different city and then started talking about how I think remote work works, how personal branding can be profitable. I think just seeing her, birth this new thing out of nowhere, I found her very inspiring. DDK, Debola Dichikurumi, combines many things together and integrates, faith and just effectiveness in a very beautiful way. Stephanie Obi inspires me to be a pioneer. I think she pioneered the knowledge industry in Nigeria. A lot of grinding, a lot of hard work, but she was able to do it. My best friend, her name is Doyin Abetui, not a very loud human being, but deeply inspiring. Like Doyin is somebody that I've seen evolve, and it tells me that I can change and become better as well. I always tease her about how, she couldn't even like trade. Now she runs, a business. And she started running that business while she was doing her 9 to 5. Started running a business, quit her job, and is running, a very successful kids educational and fun toys business, right? So I think there's so many people that inspire me. Not one person can inspire me fully, but I see something and I'm like, wow, that's great. If you can do it, I can do it too. Karen Ubani is amazing as well, and some of these people are my friends, right? So the big thing is inspiration does not always come like that, right? It's not always looking up to, this prominent woman or man in society. No, inspiration can come from around you, in your day-to-day, right? My housekeeper inspires me. She's doing so much for her siblings. She's telling me all the things she's doing for her siblings, how she brought them from, their hometowns, established them in Lagos. One of her brothers is now an entrepreneur and is doing something. The other sister is learning this and how she... Oh, I found that very inspiring. I have just one sibling, so I'm not really out to train anybody here, but I think we can find inspiration everywhere. You just need to have a curious mind and ask the right questions. Like if I did not engage my housekeeper, for example, and say, hey, where are your siblings? What are they doing? Like I would never know what she's up to, and I would never even know just the depths of how, whatever she's doing here is empowering other people. So inspiration is all around you, up, down, to the side.
Right.
What is key is that you have a curious mind and you know how to ask the right questions and listen, of course. Ask the right questions and listen.
Yeah. To wrap this up, any tip for new moms out there that you would like to share, or something you would just like to leave with them?
I think for new moms, I would say don't do life alone. And it's one of my biggest mantras. For new moms, new dads, someone that doesn't really want children, whoever you are, I think don't do life alone. More importantly for new moms though, because there's a temptation to think that, your hardship is the only hardship in the world, and this child is special. Everybody's child is special, yes, but you might think that the challenges that you're going through are unique to you. They're not, right? So I would say get in community as much as you can. It's great to watch YouTube videos. It's great to read books. It's very different when you can actually talk to someone and get their perspective in real time. It's a very different experience, right? I found that the most helpful people when I had my baby and I was going through my 4th trimester challenges was those who had just had another baby. And I'll break it down. So yes, experienced moms are great, but they forget, right? My best friend, her oldest is 7, 8, is about to be 8 now. And every time I asked her, maybe I'll say, oh, my leg is doing somehow, or the baby's leg is, she'll say, I can't remember. And she's not a bad person. Yeah. It's just that she can't remember, right? The people that were most helpful were people who, it was not their first child. So all of us that were first time, all of us were in the same WhatsApp. All of us don't know what we're doing. And even if you've taken care of your sibling's child, it's different. So the first time mom who had just had another baby, they were the best because they had experience, but they also had empathy. So they had the experience from their older children, but they had empathy for what the pain that I was going through.
Still
that
fresh.
Was very fresh, exactly. So they could tell me, I remember one of my friends gave me this hack that saved me so much time. When because as I said, I was exclusively pumping, right? So pumping and then feeding my baby through the bottle. And she told me, look, you don't have to wash the pump every time. Once you finish using it, just put it in the fridge. Next time, that saved me so much time. Because part of the pain was after pumping, you feed, then you go and wash the pump, and then 2 hours you need to go again. That game changing, right? So I think get in community, find people who are, have a similar experience to you, but also have experience, right? That can help you. So get in community. There are lots of communities for mothers now. I think it's suicidal to do life alone. So don't do it alone. Your challenges are not unique to you. There are people you don't have to suffer the suffer. There are people who have gone through it and will teach you from their experience. So that would be my advice. Don't do life alone. Get in community.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We've learned a lot. So we're going to move now to the final segment.
Hey.
This segment is going to have Kemi and I playing a trivia on basically women/motherhood. So she's going to have 8 questions. I'm going to have 8 questions. Out of my 8 questions, she's going to select like 5 random numbers. I would ask her. She's going to do the same for me. And aren't you curious to know what the winner goes on with?
I'm very curious. I want to know how much energy.
So
Don't say bragging rights. Please.
So the winner will get to be posted by the person that does not win on the,
Second round.
first round of Instagram story, and the winner will tell her what to write. Like, yeah, basically.
I convert this to Disney.
No, you can't.
Okay, let's go.
Alright, let's go
there.
You go first since you're my guest.
Okay, pick.
Question 2.
Question 2. In which month is Mother's Day celebrated in Canada, Australia, and the United States? 5,
April.
4, 3.
No, give me options.
Oh, I'm not supposed to give options.
Yes.
Oh, okay, let's start again. A, April. B, May. C, June.
April.
Wrong. All right.
Okay.
Question 4.
Which holiday was the precursor to the modern Mother's Day in the United Kingdom? A. Mother's Feast. B. Modern Sunday. C. Feast Day.
B, Modern Sunday.
Correct.
Yay! Okay.
3.
Which U.S. president officially issued a proclamation to establish Mother's Day? A, Woodrow Wilson. B, Thomas Jefferson. C, William H. Taft.
Thomas Jefferson.
Wrong. The answer is Woodrow Wilson. Number 7.
Number 7. Which scientist won 2 Nobel Prize awards and was also the mother of a Nobel Prize winner? A. Alice Kipling. B. Pauline Koch Einstein. C. Maria Curie.
B. Mrs.
Wrong.
Einstein. It was a Marie Curie.
Maria Curie.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Very good.
All right.
Question 8.
Who is the mother of Prince William and Prince Harry? A, Queen Elizabeth I. B, Princess Diana. C, Lady Sarah.
Princess Diana.
Correct. Number 1.
1. In the Roman Catholic Church, Mother's Day is most associated with admiration for whom? A. Virgin Mary. B. Mary Magdalene. C. Eve.
A, Virgin Mary.
Correct.
Yay! Alright.
I'm so sad. 5.
Mother Teresa found her missionary in which Indian city? A, Calcutta. B, New Delhi. C, Bangalore.
New Delhi.
Wrong. Calcutta. Number 3.
Which country awarded medals to mothers with large families in the 1920s? A. Germany. B. France. C. Denmark.
Medals to mothers with large families. It's either Germany or Denmark. I would think Denmark.
Wrong.
Germany?
France.
France! Really? France is not nice. Okay, I think your last question. Number what?
7.
Oh, this is easy. Complete the following saying. XXX is the mother of invention. A, money. B, patience. C, necessity.
Necessity.
Yay! I think I have one last question. Okay. What do you have? Number 8, number 9? Number 8?
I have 8 and 9.
Okay. Which one should I take? Which one is easy?
They're both easy actually.
Okay, let me take it.
Which evil mother taught her daughter to dance seductively and asked for John the Baptist's head for a prize? A. Jezebel. B. Herodias. C. Athaliah.
B.
Correct. No. She won hands down. She won hands down.
I will be sending my script
Okay.
on all the accolades actually really cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for joining in on this episode. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, drop comments, and till next time. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Bye.